Hello, it's me. I was wondering if after all these years you'd like to meet.
Well, welcome everybody to This is CorbinCenter. I know normally we have my consultant do it. He's just kind of on a break here, and I want to film this before. He's trying to anticipate what we're going to do. This is the last one that we kind of had to get into. I could talk about the fact that it was supposed to be 2 episodes of CorbinCenter, but normally I like to discuss the one we did get rained out. This time we did play it smart. The biggest thing is after the St. Paul Slam, where we had to learn this was not going to be something that we should push, especially in the consideration because like the equipment more so. Like we could wait for it to blow over, but you never know. And this year for rain has been brutal, and it's been either pushing shows, postponing shows, and coming from somebody who got hurt last time that this happened. I just don't want to do it that way. So anyway, I won't talk about that. But normally what I want to talk about is the match for. Well, first of all, what I should say is I will not be at the rescheduled St. Paul Slammer, so just to make sure we're clear on that. But what I should talk about is the match that I had with one Badger Briggs. Now, the open challenge thing has been something that I normally really do. It adds an element of surprise, which is really good. The biggest thing is when it comes time for these prize events, I really enjoy it because it brings a lot of people in. It's a chance for people to bring their kids to this one because it's free in all ages. I actually had friends who came from high school. I had a coworker who came to this one, and I figured that this would be a great opportunity. If you want to see what I do, this is how it works. And we had an 8-match card, and it was pretty long, which was pretty impressive. But again, there's not a lot of local first-time matchups that happen, and Badger and I was a first-time matchup, first-time singles, and and I think that it was well received. I also do think that the next time that we get to get in there again, we kind of will know each other a little bit more. I think the dynamic's great. From the moment that I had seen Badger, I was kind of like, oh, I like the character. I like what's going on. It's different. It's great. I think that's something that plays to Badger's strength. Now, the other flip side to it is I've mentioned this before, where I've always looked at it as a protege type role where I could mentor Badger. And does this lead to a thing where I squeak out the victory and Badger picks up, like maybe it's a thing where it's like, well, maybe instead of having, it would be my enemy, I would rather make my friend or have him on my side. Because at a prize event, I think it was a couple years ago, when it was Badger versus Kara, and Badger pushed over Cannon and got a big reaction, huge reaction. So I was kind of thinking that this might be along the same lines, but going into it. And I think, the dynamic with me is easy to establish. It's very simple. I don't wrestle people often that that do more submission-based, and funny, 2 of my fresh opponents this year, Edith Surreal and Badger Briggs, are both very skilled in submission wrestling. So that's a test. I always do enjoy those kind of matches, and it was great, and they really brought it. Badger really did. And so I welcome the match again. I would love to do it. And I think if I remember correctly, this caps off one of my busier months that I ever had, or I've had in a long time. The idea that I believe on this one, if I'm doing the math right in my head, I think that this has given me in the double digits for matches this month. And that's not even including the end of the week here, because I'm not around for the Bayfront event, so there's nothing with that. But because we're running on crunch time and I want to make sure we got in and we still talked about it, because I still have a lot of content that's coming up, so I want to make sure that I focused on this. The biggest thing is with this one, it's definitely been tricky, and we're going to have, right when I feel like August still has a bunch of content that we're going to need to do in CorbinCenters. So this one I gave my consultant a break and decided to do it more one-on-one, talking about a lot of the things on how I felt as far as the match went, which I was really happy with. The event I'm really happy with. I'm glad First Wrestling is really as busy as it is. And I'm really excited for what this year is bringing. So let's keep that rolling and keep that momentum rolling, and there will be more Corbin Centers and more content coming soon.